You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is December 12th, 2024 meeting of the Michigan City Sustainability Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
All right, I'd like to call the Michigan City Sustainability Commission meeting to order at 4:32 p.m. on Thursday, December 22nd. Could we have roll call, please?
Yes. Tim Bauer.
You might have to reach out to Michelle so she can.
Michelle Basta.
Excused.
Tristan Bogart.
Here.
Andy Jans Davis.
Here.
Beverly McMartin.
Excused.
Faye Moore.
Not sure yet.
Abigail Neary.
Here.
Lawrence Zimmer. Here. Bailey Chavez.
Excused.
Angela Reynolds.
Here.
Nancy Moldenauer.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yep.
All right, well then that means we can move on to the minutes. Thank you, Larry, for taking care of those. And if everybody had a chance to read them over, do I have a motion to approve the November, 2024 minutes?
Motion to approve November minutes.
We have a couple things.
Oh, you did have a change.
Yeah.
What was,
Yeah,
Oh.
so in the minutes, we had Ryan Lissick mentioned as a part of NERC.
oh, in the wrong, okay.
Yeah, that's incorrect. That's
Then we need to
that's
change
Dry
that,
Clean
okay.
Indiana.
Say that again now.
Ryan Lissick, he was listed as a part of NERC.
Oh,
He's actually a part of Dry Clean Indiana.
Good catch.
gotta remember where that was though.
Do you know what letter that's on there?
Where was that? Here, let me see if I,
Where's it at in the minutes?
That's under Caught You Being Green social media.
okay, great.
And then there's another one.
He's not of NERC.
He's of Drive Clean Indiana.
Okay,
Yeah. But he was at the NERC environmental meeting.
I see. I will make those changes. Drive Clean Indiana. Okay.
And then the second one was that we said that we had the electric vehicle chargers listed on the city's website. That is incorrect.
No, I think I said we would like them to be. No?
It says a complete list of stations on the city website.
Oh, just a typo.
Which letter is that? What is that under?
Commission comments?
Me, my full signature.
So I think we said we would like a complete list on the city website.
Oh,
Would that
instead,
be correct?
But we're not gonna do it because we're not gonna duplicate services. That was a suggestion from Beverly.
okay,
okay.
but we just would note that that was her
So should I
suggestion.
just delete
Just-
that? I'll just delete it. Okay. Got it.
Here's the pen.
Oh, thank you, I signed that.
I'll make those changes and then, unless you want to approve them as noted, and then I'll make the changes and resubmit it to.
They're
We can
simple
approve it
changes,
as
is that all right to approve?
Mhm.
Okay, all right, do I have a motion to approve the minutes as long as they are amended with what we just mentioned before? The Dry Clean motion
Motion to
I
approve
see.
November with an amendment.
with amendment and,
I second.
all right, we have a second, all in favor with the amendment?
Aye.
Minutes, aye, all right, passed unanimously, wonderful. Thank you, oh, and yes, thank you, Tristan, if anybody else needs agendas, I've got paper copies over here on the table, and then I have my digital copy here. And I do use all of the one extra for scrap paper, because we use a lot in my house. All right, 2 kids and lots of notes. All right, we'll move on to project teams now, and we'll start with A, explore use of biodiesel by city fleet, Abigail Neary. If you just want to take it from here,
Yeah.
go ahead, you have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and I just have one edit. I spelled Jason Arms' last name wrong. It's Arnes.
Thank
So we can update that for the notes. So yeah, Jason was a wealth of information. He said that they have only been doing biodiesel since 2022. The great thing about that is that they were replacing their vehicles. So it happened to be a great time to try out new biodiesel, because what he said is if vehicles are too dated, it might gum up the engines of them. But he also said that where he got a wealth of information was from the city of Fort Wayne, who's been doing it since 2003.
Okay.
And in the history,
2003?
yes,
2003.
yes.
Okay.
That's what I
Go
said
Fort
too.
Wayne. Excellent. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. And he
Okay.
said that since that time, they've lowered their emissions by 51%. He said in that whole time, there was one vehicle that the engine got gummed up from biodiesel, but it was a default of the manufacturer. So they have had no issues switching to biodiesel.
Really, and this was from traditional diesel vehicles and just switched right over.
Yeah,
And that was Fort Wayne.
Yeah, and then so Carmel just bought their just regular Ford F-150s, and instead of diesel, they bought biodiesel. They luckily buy out of Hammond, which is nice, and they have storage tanks in Indianapolis, and then Carmel has their own storage tanks as well.
Local.
Yes, and I asked about the price. He said the price is, he goes, the biodiesel is even, as we look at it over the years, his egg is actually cheaper than the diesel was. Not by a lot, but it was cheaper. So prices on that fluctuate. So he also said though that the one thing that was beneficial is the city of Carmel had passed an ordinance saying all new vehicles need to be electric hybrid. But because he said a snowplow, you can't use a hybrid for a snowplow. So that's why they use biodiesel in their other types of fleet for the street departments. So he put me in touch with the company that out of Hammond called Al Warren that sells them the biodiesel, with the Corn and Soybean Association, because he said that they have been very helpful. That's the Indiana Corn and Soybean Alliance. He said someone he'd worked with, Bailey Arnold, who talked about knows a lot about alternative fuels. And I'm also going to get in touch with the Greater Indiana Clean Cities and the head of fleet management in Fort Wayne, who had recently retired, so they have a new one, so he just didn't know who it is. And then I also need to then understand what our current fleet looks like. And if he said, if we have telematics, because he said he gets a report every night about how many emissions they saved, like how many miles they drove, what the emissions would have been with diesel versus
This is all
biodiesel.
Jason and Carmel.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Just so, wow.
Yeah, so he goes, I'm assuming most fleets have some sort of telematics, it's just whether or not they could give you that information. So, yeah, so I've got a lot more people to call, but it sounds promising. The one question I have for you is, do you guys know who the fleet manager is for Michigan City? I can go on the website, I just haven't done it.
It would involve two departments. One would be the sanitary district,
Okay,
and I think they're the ones that actually started with the compressed natural gas. So I have a feeling quite a few, if not all, of their vehicles are that already. And then the other two departments would be the street department and also refuse.
got it.
Those would be the two that have the largest truck fleets.
Okay. I'll get in touch with all of them. So hopefully in January.
And then I know we've been working with Robin over at the transit district, which runs the buses. But I know that Mayor Angie wanted to review the types of vehicles that they've been running, and if we're gonna continue with the full-size buses or not, because they don't fill them up any longer, so probably a different size of vehicle may be something that she would look into.
Got it.
But that would be another group of vehicles to look at.
Right, especially if they're gonna replace the fleet, that's the perfect time to
You know,
look at something like that. Okay.
Lafayette also has biodiesel garbage trucks, I believe.
and then, Abby, if you just want to send me an email, I can give you the directors' names and how to contact them,
Okay.
if you initiate that, okay?
I will add that to my list. Any other questions?
Not right now. That was really thorough. It's really exciting
Mm-hmm.
and promising. If we could get anywhere near Fort Wayne, that's great. I had no idea since 2003, obviously, but
Yeah.
good for them.
And I have a contact in Fort, my sister does a lot of work with the local government in Fort Wayne, so she was also gonna put me in contact with, she was gonna see who maybe was in charge of the program and put me in contact with them too.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, in general, not their
Right.
fleet program, but their sustainability initiatives.
They're way ahead on everything. They actually have floating solar panels on their sanitary district, the settling ponds.
Oh, really?
They have solar panels.
Wow.
That's
on
clever.
those. Yeah,
Yeah, very
they're
clever.
just way ahead of everybody in Indiana, it seems like.
Well,
It's very impressive.
good to have someone to chase, right?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. All right. No other questions. Move on. B, the solar power options for city government. Tristan Bogert, report on Michigan City electric vehicle charging station survey. Did you have anything you wanted to mention about this? This is mostly on hold for now, so I just didn't know if you had anything you wanted to mention. Okay, excellent. C, electric municipal vehicle project, Michigan City Police Department, MCPD and Transit Department. Tristan Bogert, Bailey Chavez, exploring the possibilities of adding electric vehicles to the Michigan City Police Department fleet. And the next agenda's over there. Thank you. We met with Chief Corley, and this was a few months back, and in the meantime, Tristan's done a bunch of research on different vehicles, and the police department was interested and really ready to talk to us in the future. We have more information, especially they mentioned bicycles and electric assist bikes and things like that. And I'd really like to look into that myself personally, because I haven't had a bike like that. I only have ones that pedal. I know some of our bike riders over here. Do you guys have regular bikes or the electric assist? It's just good old fashioned.
Good old fashioned
Bicycles.
bikes. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Well, some of us get tired, so anyway.
Means you need to do it more.
Well, okay, fine, fair enough. All right, so, did we have anything that you wanted to add or any questions about what we had done previously with the department? All right, excellent. When were we all meeting for a bike ride then? When it's not snowing.
It's like,
Obviously, it's a little chilly
me,
right
I'm
now,
gonna
but season's greetings in the snow. All right, D, green burial and burial sections. Lauren Simmer, pursuing green burial and burial section at Swan Lake Cemetery. I know your first meeting a few months back was really promising. Have you had a chance to talk to anybody about anything since?
Yeah, we're gonna try to set up a meeting for next month in January with couple of people that have created a subcommittee to work with us.
Oh, wonderful.
So, I mean, we have to meet with them and develop a rapport and decide how we're going to move forward, so.
Well, good. I'm glad there's progress.
Yeah.
It can take time. You want to make a whole section and at a location. It can
Right.
take a little while.
Right.
Good. I'm glad that there's positive movement on that.
Thanks.
We've had a lot of good things with cemeteries, crematoriums, and things in the area. So
Right.
thank you so much for
Sure.
continuing that movement. If anyone didn't know, Larry was talking about different options for burial and a specific section dedicated at Swan Lake Cemetery, possibly for these more environmentally friendly burials.
Right.
All right, waste reduction garbology, Daisy Lee, Tim Bauer, Bailey Chavez, Angela Reynolds, Michelle Basta. Update on progress of pilot project in Michigan City Beach. which would include fun, colorful recycling collection containers of native species. This one's on hold for now, but we will continue to look at that. Always looking for recycling initiatives, especially, big thanks to Daisy in the past and the students and all the work that they did, videos and getting recycling into our parks. And that was really a lot of work and a lot of collaborative energy involved with that. There was it was a lot of fun. They painted garbage cans, I think, and recycle cans, isn't that right, Nancy? And made a big fun thing. Didn't you guys, you painted the recycle bins and with Daisy when you were getting all of the recycle bins and garbage?
We just made the videos and like actually put it. I don't remember.
I think it was just getting the blue recycling bins.
Yeah,
Getting the blue recycling bins
that was fun.
in the
Yeah.
parks. In the
But
parks.
we should do that. Like we should decorate.
Do another. Well, I just remember seeing some that were painted, so I don't, not necessarily the recycle bins, but I've seen some decorated bins. It might have been from individual parks.
Was
or
it the
what-
Lebesnick Center?
Maybe.
Was it one of their projects?
Perhaps.
They did have that one show about trash. An exhibition about trash, like maybe that was like a year and a half ago.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna have to do some research on that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That could be a fun competition for like like classes or something to like, they get to decorate, go see where theirs is in the park somewhere.
that's a good idea. They do rain barrel decorating in Porter County for their yearly environmental
That's cute.
expo that they do. So maybe we could look into how they do that and do
Yeah.
something similar.
I do know that the mayor has set aside some funds for neighborhood beautification. So maybe that could be looked at for whatever, in the parks.
Good spring activity.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Something I can do.
There we go. Hey, we'll get started on that. Remind us, all right, in a couple months? Okay. And maybe the rain barrels or something like that too, similar to how they do in Porter County.
Yeah, also-
That'd be a fun competition.
Also, money's been appropriated for neighborhood/park, vegetable and pollinator gardens. So rain barrel collection of water would actually be a good thing to do for those.
Yeah,
because
really
then you
would
can
be.
just tip it over and water them.
All right, so we need to get in touch with the schools and their art teachers and get figured out where Porter County gets their rain barrels and get going on this project, I think.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. Okay, that sounds like fun. There's a number of them at the Porter County Environmental Expo. That's the big one where I got the idea for our small one. They've been doing it for years and years. And any ideas we can borrow, right?
Mhm.
All right, great. And then also, Michelle's still been looking at coordinating pop-up sustainability events where we can trade items instead of buying new and borrow instead of, instead of, like I said, buying new. And also, there we go, sustainable options for restaurant campaign, like who uses what sort of containers, and straws is a big thing. A lot of restaurants now offer a straw instead of giving you one, or their straws are often made of grass of some sort that lasts a little while, and then they are easily composted. And when we had our greenhouse gas emissions inventory done, our carbon footprint, recycling was an area where we could reduce our carbon footprint, and so we should constantly look at places where we can recycle instead of send to the landfill. Any comments or, all right, excellent. F, continue promoting Soul Smart Silver designation with partner Indiana University Resilience Cohort. Anybody with a copy that's reading this, I'm, again, technologically not inclined and could not get those lines to go away. I apologize. So at least we can still read it. So
Got that happen before too.
I was just
You're
over it
reading
at that point. I'm like, you know what? It reads fine, so we'll have extra lines.
When you highlighted it.
Yeah.
You can highlight it and then.
And I tried to delete it. I went back and I retyped it. It was
Oh my
hilarious.
It's because you're.
I'm copying and pasting.
Well, that and like when you're highlighting, you're like highlighting a certain part.
And then the extra line.
Yeah,
And I
it's-
was like,
it's-
but we're
it's picking
even the
it up.
same one. We have the same size font. So,
Does it let you backspace it?
figure it out. So,
I have to
The real
I
reason
have to
is-
highlight and delete.
The real reason is that Word often has a mind of its own.
it-
And there's nothing you're gonna do
ghost
that's gonna change its mind. So, I agree, I would just leave the line.
just leave the lines. I'm gonna white it out on my screen. All right, well, Nancy Molnauer, Tristan Bogart, Angie Reynolds, Andy Jans Davis, Beverly Mac Martin, and Sylvia Collins Martin. Randy Novak, County Councilman, provided past solar ordinance, which has been forwarded to consultant Kelly Ames of National League of Cities, who will forward it to the U.S. Department of Energy for gold designation approval. Our link, Getting Started with Solar, found on Sustainability Commission of Michigan City Government webpage, has been helping Northwest Indiana area residents and businesses with solar panel installations. And you can go to eMichigan City and government, and then just follow the links with Michigan City Sustainability, and you can find yourself all sorts of information about solar. And before long, we'll have a nice little plaque to go up to. Did you have anything to add, Nancy, or anyone?
I really just want to acknowledge County Councilman Randy Novak for taking care of that for us, because I couldn't get responses from anybody else. You know, so go back to the person you know who's helped you in the past,
Right.
and they come through again. He's also the one that got the appropriation for funding when LaPorte County did their yeah, right.
You'll remember it.
Greenhouse emissions, when they did their greenhouse emissions inventory, he was the one that got the funding for that.
Wonderful. Well, great track record with the environment. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that, especially that ordinance. Like you said, it was trying to get that was difficult. So we can move forward and get our designation, and then hopefully when we move for platinum, there won't be any little ordinance hiccups to deal with. Right?
Oh, just solar storage batteries.
There we go. Did anybody have anything else? All right. G, Carbon Neutral Indiana, Andy Jans Davis, Nancy Moldenauer, Faye Moore, and Lawrence Zimmer. Carbon Neutral Indiana's innovative book, I have it today, entitled Carbon Neutral Indiana, A Practical Guide to Climate Solutions. You can buy it online. There's interviews with Faye. Faye is one of the first people in Michigan City to have solar panels, so she has all of the information, and often you're willing to share with us some of your bills. Do you have one recently you'd be willing to brag about?
No, I don't. I do know that I found out that you have to clean your solar panels to keep them efficient.
Oh, good.
So,
Well, that's good information.
Yeah.
Like get up there and scrub with some glass cleaner?
well, you have, like they do the power wash
Okay.
thing.
Right, because even with rain or whatever, you'll get buildup
You
and
get
things like that you
buildup.
just don't think about.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, thanks for the tip.
But the bills, with NIPSCO constantly raising the bill, my bill is still staying reasonably low
Good.
because of the solar panels.
Good. Well, that's promising. And you've got solar panels now too, and you're noticing that that's really worth it. So that's excellent. And Larry's also got a shout out in the book. So, and you're a big fan and get copies for everybody.
Yes.
So we appreciate that very much. So you're like Santa Claus for Carbon Neutral Indiana books. Everybody's stocking. So,
Panels like, does it like even the basement too? Like every part of your house?
whatever
What's the
you're
question?
it's hooked to, the solar panels, they take the energy in, and then that energy gets pumped back into the house wherever you want the light to
So
be on.
yeah.
Mhm.
So like, is it like a good investment?
Is it like
Is
what?
it a good investment?
Oh, yes, it's definitely an investment. Yes. Is that was your question? Is it an investment? Yes. It's an investment, and you pay up front. I mean, you still have to pay for the panels that they put on, and they put the panels on according to pretty much your usage based on your bill, your previous bill from NIPSCO. So they go by that, have a calculation. I don't know how the calculation works. So they figure out how many panels you need based on your previous use, and then I also have the backup generator.
Mhm.
So if the power does go out throughout the city and I'm not getting enough power, I have the generator also. So I got it all at once rather than trying to get it later. So all I can say is that my bill definitely decreased, and it hasn't gone back up with all the increases that NIPSCO has. And then was having an issue with my bill. It was starting to go up, and then I found out that you have to clean the panels. So, and that'll take away that dirt or whatever that builds up on it throughout the year. And so it went back to its normal condition of consumption of whatever it does.
Did you rent or are you buying?
I'm buying.
You're buying. How about you? Did you rent or buy?
Lease.
Or lease?
Lease, yeah.
Lease, okay.
Paid up front.
We're buying.
We basically took out a mortgage on our mortgage.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can be expensive. And I've seen both models. I was just curious.
Yeah, we're gonna own them, and that definitely increases the value of your property also when you go to reselling your home or whatever. So, and we went with batteries, so when the grid goes down, we still have electricity at our house
Right.
because of that. I think that was a major motivator for us.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because we're getting to the point where we just don't deal with being uncomfortable too much anymore. So-
Well, if it goes out in the middle of the winter, I know I'm going to your house.
And the thing I've noticed is we're gonna have to cut back some limbs because we have a
Some
lot
more.
of trees around the back of our house and they've started to encroach on the solar panels, so we wanna get those down. But our gas and electricity together, it was running about $50 a month during the summertime. And now I noticed it's up to 60, but we're using more gas because our heat is unfortunately gas and not electricity, so. Cool.
And I also invested in an electric dryer instead of a gas dryer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was an additional cost. They had to put a different type of panel in for the electric dryer. So, but it's one-time expense for that.
Mhm.
And so,
And we had a hole put in our wall that's covered up now for when we do get an electric vehicle, then we'll be able to put the charger in real easily.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
To run off the solar. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So then both of you, what you're saving every month is money that's put into paying down whatever loan you might have taken
right,
Mhm.
to purchase the panels.
exactly.
So,
Mhm.
and then plus your tax credits and.
Yes, and the
Right.
tax credits were significant.
Yes, it was good too.
They were significant.
Like when I bought my hybrid car, I didn't know that we were gonna get a tax break, but I've, put it down as a line item in our deductions, and the accountant said, "Oh, you got a $4,500 tax deduction."
All right.
Oh,
So, surprise.
nice.
Mhm.
Well, that's not
Right.
nothing at all.
No,
That's
right.
good.
It was a shock.
Look at all the reasons to get all the electric, right? Well, and if there's other things you can do to be practical in here too. We talked about solar a lot, but it's a practical guide, so check it out. And you can go to Carbon Neutral Indiana and find out what your carbon footprint is, and for a small fee, you can become carbon neutral, and they'll plant trees and cap natural gas sources, and all in your honor. And then eventually you could also do another person, or you can do half, or you can just find out what your carbon footprint is and then try to lower it a little bit on your own. So there's all sorts of options there.
Because Daniel uses the funds that he collects when people purchase carbon offsets, he uses those funds then to invest in projects that draw down carbon from the environment.
Yes.
Whether it's planting trees or capping natural gas wells that are leaking or methane that's leaking from landfills, those are all strategies and projects that need to be funded. And carbon offsets is one way of funding them.
And it's perfect.
Right. So the carbon that you're burning in your everyday life, you can help offset that by investing in a project that will reduce carbon in the environment. So that's why they call it neutral. Carbon neutral.
Thank you. That's a really good explanation.
And then eventually we'd like to get into carbon negative,
Well, that'd be fabulous.
where we're actually extracting more carbon from the environment than we're putting in.
Lots more trees.
And we need to do a lot of that.
A lot of planting trees.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Did anybody else have anything to add? All right. I'll move to H, contract with Performance Services under $98,000 grant from Office of Indiana Office of Energy Development, OIED. Nancy Molnauer, Project Manager, Tristan Bogert, Shannon Eason, Sylvia Collins-Martin, Jamie Huss, David Dippert, Beverly McMartin, and Richard Pate. Did you want to tell us about this, Nancy?
Yeah, this is the project that is to install solar arrays and/or solar panels at the Washington Park Zoo and also at Washington Park. I did finally get a service agreement from Nick Allen of Performance Services, and I forwarded that to our city attorney. And she'll be reviewing that and then sending it on to the mayor for signature. So then we'll have an official relationship with them. And I emailed Brenda Beck and the zoo director a second time to schedule a drone flyover over the zoo per their convenience to map the landscape and to in order to fulfill a late quarterly timetable. So we started a quarter late. And now we're another quarter late because of the drone mapping not getting scheduled and completed, which puts us 6 months behind. But this is not going to be a problem. I've been assured by Performance Services. And I thought we signed a 1.5-year contract, but we actually signed a 2-year contract. So we have a lot of squeegee room here, so to speak. So we're going to be fine. But my goal is to get this done as soon as possible because we don't know how much longer the federal government monies are going to be available. So I would like to get this done, get something submitted so we can look at getting funding for this particular project. Let me see if there's anything else. Tristan and I are going to be having a meeting next week with the Office of Indiana Energy Development. To be sure we're really clear on what they're requiring of us and what the timetable looks like now.
Great.
So,
Well, that's exciting. Congratulations on the movement, and congratulations again on the grant. It's been less than a year, so still a lot of movement on that. Yay.
May I ask for a clarification? You're meeting with the Office of what?
Office of Indiana Energy Development, and there is a mistype up there in the top. So it should say Office of Indiana Energy Development.
Office of twice.
OIED, yeah. The Office of is in there
I
twice.
apologize.
and
I'll
the
take that out.
thing up there. H, contract with Performance Services under $98,000 grant from Office of Indiana Energy Development. So Office of is down there 2 times and it shouldn't be in the middle there. And Andy, that could have been my mistake too.
All set?
Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
And then the only addition I had was that meeting next week that's gonna be happening with them and Tristan and I, because that just got established like just the last couple days.
Right, great.
Excellent. Look forward to hearing about that. All right. Anything else? Okay. I'll move on to I, Northwest Indiana Region Resilience Action Planning Worker, Nancy Molnauer, Tristan Bogart, Andy Jans Davis. Northwest Indiana Green Drinks to host pollinator garden presentation on Thursday, March 6th to kick off National Wildlife Federation, NWL, certification efforts for Michigan City and other communities regionally. Tristan is keeping City Hall stocked with informational materials for interested persons, like these little tips. These little cards are great. I've been handing them out like crazy. They're upstairs, but these are great if you don't have any. Little tips for your wildlife garden, food and water and cover. And then if you want your garden or your yard to be a certified wildlife habitat, then you go to the National Wildlife Federation for Michigan City, and it's not difficult to have your yard certified. My very small yard in the middle of the city is certified as a wildlife habitat. I joke, but it's for real that a water source can be a dish. We had a Frisbee with water in it, because that's for a puddling water source for pollinators. So, you know, my kids have toys and Frisbees, and, you know, you want to dump it out because you don't want to get mosquitoes. But, you know, it's pretty simple to be able to have an actual wildlife habitat in the city. And for a small fee, then you get a nice sign. And we're trying to get Michigan City certified. And I'm sure that we're moving along good. I've been seeing emails for points being added, so that's exciting. And Kathy Sipple, she started with Northwest Indiana, and it was the first in the country to get the certification. So excellent, Kathy, and I can't wait to watch Green Drinks and find out more information. It'll be a
And
good
that'll be
time.
the first Thursday of the month at 6:30 p.m.
Two questions. Well, one thing is, when we were talking about this last time, I did buy a solar thing for my water dish to keep it from freezing. I haven't tried it yet. I just got it.
Oh.
But I've got it on Amazon, so I'll let you know how that works. And then, do they record Green Drinks?
Yeah,
They do. Where can you find the recordings?
that's gonna be on Save the Dunes, let me go back, on YouTube, on Save the Dunes subscription page.
Because there's been a number of them that have been really great that
Oh,
I
yeah,
missed.
yeah, they're all posted.
Okay.
I'd say for at least the past few years. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, so every year in March, I think, we've done a program on pollinator gardens, and I think this will be either our third or fourth year we've done it. So there's a whole series that probably happened either March or April.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm,
They're good. They're a lot of fun.
mm-hmm.
Did you have anything else to add, or Tristan, to anything?
I just want to really acknowledge Tristan for ordering materials when they're getting low and for putting them out, and I can tell people are taking them, and that's what we want to see happening, so.
Thank you. All right. And then we will move on to, excuse me, Soul Power. Danita Scully, Faye Moore, and Nancy Molnauer. 23 solar panel assistants and 7 installers are North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners certified for a total of 30 certification earned. Highest level of NAB CEP professional certification photovoltaic installation concluded in August 2024. 2 of 4 students have completed the online certification for the NAB CEP installation professional and the NEC National Electrical Code certification, with the remaining 2 progressing. Reflection on my screen. New 2-week course started on December 2nd with 10 students, while the other 30 plus have been waitlisted. Still awaiting response for EPA Community Change Grant submitted for Hope Community Center solar panel installation. Job training and certification program for solar panel installation in partnership with NAACP, LaPorte County, Michigan City Sustainability Commission, IBEW-531, Ivy Tech Valparaiso, Work One, and Just Transition Northwest Indiana. Did you have anything to add, Faye, to any of the solar power information?
No, I don't.
Okay, excellent. Did you have anything, Nancy?
Yeah, Faye, I sent you a text. I hope you
did?
got it.
Hold on.
I hope you got it.
Oh, about the 2 weeks. Okay, yes.
All right, excellent, Faye.
So, December 2nd, the class did get started
Mhm.
with 10 students, and it's going to be 2 weeks for the OSHA 10 program,
Oh, good.
and another 3 more weeks for the core construction. And this will complete tier 1 for the 10 people that registered. And then they have 30 people on the waiting list. Is that on your? Yeah.
Yeah,
Have 30
that's incredible.
on the waiting list. The problem is we're getting more response from Gary, Lake County, than we are from Michigan City.
Oh,
So a lot of these are from Gary, and we tell people they provide transportation if you don't have transportation, and that's why they're taking advantage of it.
okay. All right, well, we got to get it out there around here.
Yeah.
The word's spreading, obviously.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Well, there's been a bunch of students and really high certifications, and that's done at the Hope Center. And do you have the address memorized for that one?
I'm sorry.
The Hope Center address?
222 McClellan
Excellent. Thank you.
in Michigan City.
And then you can sign up for future trainings at NAACP3061.org/soul-power-program/.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got another
Excellent.
message from Donita that the Soul Power Tier 1 OSHA 10 and core completion ceremony will be held on this coming Friday, 12/13/2024 at 5 p.m. Please join us as we celebrate our students' accomplishments. Refreshments and food will be served. Please let me know if you will be attending, supposed to be by noon today.
Oh.
That's okay. What time is that on Friday?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. And is that at the Hope Center?
at the Hope Center, yes.
Well, congratulations to all the students and
Yeah,
everything.
That's great.
That's great. Wait list and everything. Good. I'm glad to see the progress over there. And the building is looking just gorgeous with the murals.
Oh my gosh.
All right, and more solar. We've been talking about a lot of solar panels today. Solar United Neighbors, son Andy Jans Davis, Nancy Molnauer, and Faye Moore. Invitation to attend Renewable Energy Day Red is Tuesday, January 21st, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central, the Indiana State House, which Michigan City Sustainability Commission is a sponsor. Sun, Indiana's Northern Indiana Program Associate, is Brian Flory in Fort Wayne. Brian has offered to hold introductory sessions with Faith in Place for places of worship and nonprofits about solar panel installation on their facilities, of which Nancy has requested and Mayor Angie supports. Brian is coordinating engagement of those interested in solar installation for homes and small businesses with ongoing solar panel information and continuous installer referrals. All of the solar panels that we were talking about earlier, this is where you go if you have questions. Solar United Neighbors, they're not-for-profit, and they will help direct you to the right installers. They'll help answer your questions, and they'll help set you up with other people who are in similar situations as yourself. So because of Solar United Neighbors, I knew that I needed a new roof before I could get solar panels because my roof was not new enough at the time, and now it is. So my next step is if I'm going to be there long enough to put solar panels on, or if it'll be a good rental. But either way, it is a good investment. And as Nancy mentioned earlier, that it's just good for the property. So if you have any kind of questions, then the Solar United Neighbors is a great place to check all that out. And if you can go to the State House on January 21st, that's great. Nancy, do you have anything to add? I'm sure you're heading down.
This will be the first year
You're not?
I'm not able to attend because it's the same day as the city council meeting.
That's right, you mentioned that.
So
I forgot.
I must be present at the city council meeting
Yes.
for obvious reasons. So I encourage anybody that's able to go down. It's a really fun day. There'll be a lot of like-minded people there. A number of the nonprofit environmental organizations set up tables in the grand hall there on the first floor of the State House, and they give you free lunch, which has always been delicious. And you'll get to meet people like Zach.
Oh, that's where you met Zach.
Zach and Brian will be there for sure. And then Jim Poyser from Earth Charter Indiana is always there, and Shannon with them also. So, Hoosier Environmental Council will have staff there too. So it's a great opportunity to get to know some of the other players in the state of Indiana, and then I'll also become familiar with other nonprofit organizations who are committed to the green movement. So I highly recommend going. And Pat Boyd, our representative, always makes time to meet with whomever of us is down there. And Rodney Pohl will do so, especially if he hasn't met you before. I know he'll meet with you also, so he's our senator. So great day, if you can do it, I highly recommend it for sure.
All right, well, we'll have to get some carpool going. If anybody's interested in heading down there, we could get that coordinated. It sounds like a fun day, especially if Nancy says there's delicious food and like-minded individuals, and that's where a lot of networking
It's
can
free.
go.
It's
Free.
Free
for this one.
Everything is free there.
That's amazing.
It is.
All right. Well, we do appreciate free, right? Did you have something to add?
Yeah, not directly with this, but to add. NIPSCO, 31% increase proposed March.
What?
Public announcements.
Yeah, announcement at that. All right, was there anything else then on the Solar United Neighbors? All right, we'll move on to L, Hoosiers for Community Solar Coalition. H4CS, Nancy Molnauer. Last month, Michigan City Sustainability Commission voted to unanimously join the Hoosiers for Community Solar Coalition, H4CS, as a member, which includes Solar United Neighbors, Faith in Place, League of Women Voters, and others. Community Solar Champions will be supported by H4CS in learning about CS and then reaching out to their state legislatures. Your next step is to pledge your individual support for a community solar bill in the 2025 Indiana General Assembly. Did you have anything to add?
Yes, I did reply to the email that was sent to me, so we're officially, listed as a supporter. They came back and asked me if somebody from our sustainability, let me start that again. H4CS and Solar United Neighbors is seeking a contact or an individual within our Sustainability Commission to work with them during this 2025 Indiana General Assembly. So I said I would ask that at this meeting. So if anybody's interested in being the conduit basically between this larger coalition and our smaller Sustainability Commission, let me know that, and then I'll let them know.
All right. Great. Well, it looks like a great group there. Solar United Neighbors, Faith in Place, League of Women Voters. All right, well, thank you. And now we'll move on to Caught You Being Green.
So we're not
sorry.
nobody's gonna step up That was your question, wasn't it,
Yeah.
Nancy? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
If there,
I'm a maybe.
You're what?
I'm a maybe. My sister's a lobbyist. I just have to make sure it's no
Oh.
conflict of interest.
Would be no conflict.
Yeah. So I'm a maybe if there's
Okay.
no conflict of interest.
Okay, get back with me then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I generally check a few things before I volunteer. So,
No, and you're not allowed to.
okay. Thank you. I love you.
Tim?
No more volunteering for anything.
No more volunteering, no more volunteering for Andy.
Do you know what all we would have to do, the person would have to do?
I think that, they hold, virtual webinars. Yeah,
Virtual meetings.
yeah, and it's not all that often because I get the notices for those and maybe like about once a month. But I think that they just want to be sure that when they're asking for support, that we're communicating with our base
Mhm.
what needs to be happening at certain periods of time. I have never seen so much pre-organizing work for anything before in my whole life, I'll have to say that. So they really do have a plan down, and they're really looking for people just to get the word out, you know, when it's time to contact certain people about whatever. Okay, so it's not gonna take any organizing on our part because they're doing the organizing. So they're basically asking for us to become the plug-in organization, if that makes sense. Yeah, I've been really impressed. I was just like, whoa, you know. Nothing's missing in their emails, nothing.
Oh, nice. All
Yeah,
their ducks in a row.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is happening this time, this is how you do it, and you know, usually something's missing and I'm having to reply back and say, I don't see the link for Zoom. Or, what day is this happening? What time is it? You know, they have everything organized.
So usually around what time have they been having your meetings?
It's been in the evenings, Faye.
In the evenings?
Yeah.
And then, around what time?
Oh, it's probably been like 6,
Like Monday,
6,
Tuesday,
5.
Wednesday?
I think the day sort of varies.
Oh, it varies.
But you're asking somebody who's been sort of cloudy about details recently.
No more volunteering for you either.
I know. Did I volunteer? Did
No.
I volunteer for this? No. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate you looking out for me. Thank you.
Have to have fun a little bit today, right?
So I
Jingle
will.
bells.
I will put down.
If you could
I
find
will
out.
put down Andy and Faye as maybes.
If
and
you
then
could find out, more, what days the meetings are around.
And what I can do is just forward to both of you some of the emails I've been getting. How does that sound?
Okay.
Okay, we'll do it that way. And then that takes me out of the middle completely. Yes. All right.
Great. All right, well, now we'll go to L or M. Are we done with L? Yeah. All right. Call You Being Green. Andy Jans Davis, Tim Bauer, Michelle Vasta. Earth Month Extravaganza 2025. We already do have Clean Cities already for a drive event, correct? And we'll get that going soon. We have a save the date out. I will be contacting folks in the next 2 weeks to get things official. Double check with the park department to make sure the parking lot and all those details. And then we'll get an event up, probably by the end of next week. So April 26th, save the date. We're not sure exactly the time. We might do something small morning and something else in the afternoon with tables. So if we have the area all day and people available, then we don't want to have one person there all day. That's a lot. If you want a table for 3 hours, great, but maybe we could do
Right.
some hikes beforehand or something early. It's a new location and a great space, so we have a lot of time and opportunity to see what we can do. We had some really good posts shared with us and whatnot on social media. So always check that out. It's a really good place where I found different places to recycle clothes and all sorts of other things like that. Right now, as a matter of fact, you can recycle in a lot of locations your holiday lights. If it has a plug on it and no Freon in it or anything like that, you can usually drop it off at the electronics recycling trailer, which is at 1801 Kentucky Street in Michigan City. That's the LaPorte County Recycling. They also have curbside recycling dumpster right there as well. And then your electronics that can go in there all year. If you find some holiday lights burnt out, you probably pop them in there. So yeah, your old blenders, all those sorts of things with the plug, when they burn out, they can go into that trailer. It's really nice. I appreciate it. So we'll have to share some more of those on there. Did anybody else have anything?
I just want to add to that Sacha has a guy that's a volunteer. He actually will get those lights working again if he can.
Even better.
Can
Yeah.
you come get my dumb pre-lit tree reworking?
Oh my gosh, right?
Like half of them went out. I'm like, oh.
You just have to string a new one off for it, right?
So I thought that was a cool thing that she shared.
Oh, that's good.
I also, right after our meeting last month, I watched a documentary on Netflix called Buy Now, which is, I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it's all about where clothing goes, even when you're trying to recycle it. It was fascinating. It was really good.
Yeah, find reputable places
Mhm.
and everything for sure. And the one you send yours in, what's that called? again?
Trashy.
Trashy.
Yeah.
And then locally, you can go to North Face as well as H&M if you have textiles.
They did call H&M out in the documentary.
Oh dear.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh, I hope they've changed practices
Yes.
since then. So definitely double check on
Mhm.
that. So trashy is the way to go.
I guess. I don't know. Now I have to.
I know Levi's would take jeans in the past. I don't know if they still do. And those were shredded for jean installation and I think also pencils.
But what?
Pencils.
Pencil?
At least I'm not sure Levi's did it, but I have seen jean pencils.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. It's science, right? I'm fascinated by it. So, if there's nothing else,
No,
I'll
is this Commissioner
move
Cummings?
on to commission comments.
Yes, I want to thank benefactor Nancy Molenauer for Drive Clean Indiana table. It was very good, November the 20th, that we were at Drive Clean Indiana. Got my little notebook, I'm taking my notes. And anyway, so they were saying hydrogen is cleaner, is the cleanest form of energy or whatever, hydrogen. So anyway, so I learned that and a little bit about clean hydrogen strategies. And that I enjoyed the session. I enjoyed the different ones I went to and the talking about hydrogen. And also I-80 Coalition is working to form H2 corridor from New York, New Jersey to Chicago. And New York produces 50% of the hydrogen right now or whatever. And hydrogen is carbon free and some other stuff. Some of the stuff I can't even understand my notes anymore. But anyway, it was very good. The renewable energy and seeing the vehicles and talking to the people. I mean, they have such a passion, Drive Clean Indiana, for helping our nation become, use our renewable energy and stop messing up the world with all these emissions. And, Chevron, to check Chevron's website, they have a lot of information about what's going on with with vehicles and how they're changing from diesel to the hydrogen and all that other good stuff. And Chevron got a retail station pipeline. It was good. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I was really excited too that we had 3 people from the refuse department in
Mhm.
Michigan City that
Nice.
attended. And we had 2 people from the transit department that
Oh,
attended. And we had 2 people from the planning department that attended also.
Very good.
And that's the highest attendance we've ever had of
Right.
individuals,
City-
city employees, right?
employees.
So I was very excited about that, because if things are gonna happen, then they're gonna be the people that are gonna be the drivers. We can make the suggestions
Right,
about
right,
things,
right.
but they're the drivers. So I think that we had so many attend that was excellent. And I heard that Mayor Angie was there also, is that correct?
Can we what?
Mayor Angie was there?
Yeah, she did a welcome or something. Yes. And then she encouraged them to mingle and get as much information as they could get to bring back. So. And she also encouraged them to thank you too. So if you haven't got the thanks, the mayor did tell them to thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Faye. Is there any other commission comments?
Oh, I want to thank Tristan for doing all of the registrations.
It's fine.
Yeah,
No, that's a big deal.
It
Thank
is.
you. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
You're welcome.
really.
lots of us don't like paperwork and stuff like that, numbers and things, and
Tristan just,
you're on
he
it.
just,
Give me a spreadsheet.
yeah.
I need to do that. I just saved it as a draft in the email.
Okay, see.
Update it. There you go. Put it back as a draft.
Here's my pencil and paper. So,
That's my pencil on paper drafts.
did you have any other comments?
Is the NIPSCO thing okay?
That's announcements, or is that a comment?
Is that public?
It could be a commission comment.
All right, go ahead.
Or is it? It's his.
So, as I was going to say earlier, NIPSCO rate increase 31% March 2026. No matter what, you're going to have to foot the bill for the increase. They might as well, go solar or, I don't know,
How much of an increase?
31%.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be about $45 per
Correct.
household.
Yep, $45 in.
So your payback, Faye and Nancy, is gonna come faster and faster.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And, I might not even have to worry about if I'm gonna have renters in that place or not. I might put those solar panels up myself.
Yeah.
I know people who have. Oh.
I might take a class.
Yeah.
Take the class.
Let them be you could be their apprentice. Like they
Oh,
could,
God.
you could be their test case.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, thank you for that information. That's really valuable. 31% increase.
31%.
Is it starting in January?
March 2026.
Oh,
March
26.
2020.
Does anybody
Oh,
know when the
2026.
public comment period ended? Was that the 11th of this month or the 12th of this month? Or did we pass it yesterday?
I know we passed it.
We passed it, okay.
It was.
Well, we'll get some time to get those solar panels on beforehand.
Yeah, like I said, no matter what, not to put the increase, that or, I don't know, I guess we go back to the Stone Age candles.
There's fire hazards.
That too.
Thank you. Is there anything else? Any other commission comments? Commission comments? Commission comments? All right. Public comments. Public comments. Public comments. All right. On to announcements. Northwest Indiana Green Drinks will be Thursday, January 2nd, 2025, 6:30 p.m. Central, with presenter, say your name for me so I don't say it wrong.
Betsy Mayer.
Mayor, thank you, Betsy Mayer, Executive Director of Save the Dunes, addressing big things happening at Save the Dunes via Save the Dunes Facebook Live or Zoom link from em@savethedunes.org. That sounds like it'll be fun. You guys are always doing some good stuff there, and you'll get to update us on all the future happenings.
Yeah, I also want to say that Jason Taylor, the new superintendent of the Indiana Dunes National Park, was at our annual membership meeting. And so Betsy is going to be incorporating into her talk a number of the very exciting things he talked about. And what I have to say is that the synergy that's going on now between the national park and Save the Dunes is just unbelievable. We are like 100% on the same page. And so I see really exciting things happening for our region, actually,
Good.
because of this happening. And Jason has visions of really big doing really large things with our national park here. So more community engagement, looking at the visitor center, realizing if you go to any other national park, they have a visitor center.
Visitor center, yes, they
You
do.
know, so he has the vision, and also he is working very cooperatively with Save the Dunes, Friends of the Dunes. So I think we're in for a very exciting 2025, 2026, 2027, and even beyond. So
That's
if you can
exciting.
make this, I would recommend doing that.
January
What is,
2nd.
Jason's last name?
Taylor, Taylor, Jason Taylor.
So are they thinking about putting up a nice visitor center on 20 or 12 or?
Probably someplace else, but I don't know.
Oh,
I'm just
just excited.
The location where it
that
is
it's
is
starting
nice.
to
It
move.
could be
Yeah.
made nicer.
Yeah, and that was really, it was a bringing together of the Indiana Dunes National Park and the Indiana Dunes State Park, because neither of them really had, you know,
Right,
what you could
right.
be considered a visitor center.
Mhm.
And that space actually is owned, I believe, by Indiana Dunes, which is the marketing people for Porter County.
Mm.
Okay, so it's sort of those three entities coming together to do that. And if you look at it, it's more like a marketing center, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you look at all the pamphlets that are there and everything else, it's more telling people where to shop, telling people
There's a lot of
where to
commerce.
eat, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And if you go to a national park center, it's all about what's here,
Right.
what you can do here, what makes this place special.
Special.
And that's,
And the trails.
it's lacking there, you know, if you look at what's there. So anyhow,
And why wouldn't the building on 49 be the visitor center? Isn't that the same thing?
it is supposedly.
But like make it more just focused on
on the
on the
dunes
dunes,
itself.
less on commerce.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Have you been to any of the visitor centers at the national parks?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So do you see a difference between those and what's going on at that particular location?
No, not
Okay. We can talk later.
really.
Later.
All right.
Yeah.
Lawrence,
So you
we can
think
talk
they should be
later.
more of an educational?
Yeah, more
Based.
education, more engagement, more
I see.
really about what makes this place so special.
Okay,
And that's what's really lacking there. What makes this place so special?
okay.
And we do have an extraordinary national park here. We really
yeah.
do.
And so this is something that Taylor is behind?
Jason Taylor, yeah. He mentioned it as one of his
Okay.
items that he's, you know, looking into. So, can I make another announcement?
Well,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Last year, I know you and some other people attended the reused gift wrapping
yes, it was
party
so fun.
party that happened at Save the Dunes. So my question is, do you got gifts? And if you do, there's an opportunity on Sunday, December 15th, which is this Sunday from 1 to 3, to join together with other people that are interested in wrapping their gifts by reusing items. And Anne Racine's going to be doing that again. And she's the Save the Dunes community engagement person. It's free to members. A suggested donation of $10 for others, but if you can't donate, that's fine. She's encouraging people to bring things you have at your house that can be used to wrap gifts, and they'll have things there also.
And where's it at?
Barker House,
Oh, Barker.
444 Barker Road.
Scrap fabric is the best.
I sent comics last year.
Comics, yeah,
I
those
did
are
that.
fun too.
I was using old magazines for a while for all like my nieces, and now I don't get magazines anymore, but that's what I was using for a while.
Yeah, so anything like that. And if you have holiday paper that you're not using, that somebody else could use, then that would be a reuse also of an item, so. Okay.
And regular wrapping paper
Mhm.
is recyclable, curbside, Michigan City. We prefer you go with a
Reuse.
different kind, but if you have regular wrapping paper, not the foil or the glitter,
Mhm.
but regular can go in curbside, even with the tape on it, I guess. So what again, you know,
Some of them that you buy now, actually, it's printed on the back. It says this is recyclable.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
so,
kinda keep an eye out for that.
excellent. You can just even look for it. Any other announcements?
Yeah, I have one.
Excellent.
So everybody's trying to reduce their amount of plastic. I've been made aware of a couple of websites that maybe some of you know already, but they were new to me and I found them very interesting. BeyondPlastics.org, which is a very good one. Lots of good information in there. And then BreakFreeFromPlastic.org has a lot of great information, and they also have a documentary film it's a Vimeo that you can click on and watch. It's like an hour and a half long about the complete story of plastic, its origins, its use, its abuse, and so it's great. It'd be really worth watching. They even have a comment page on there about whether you'd like to have a public showing of the film. You've got to fill out an application and ask for permission. But that might be something we might want to consider doing, is maybe at the library hosting a viewing and then a discussion afterward about reduction in use of plastics. We could show the film first and then maybe talk about it or something.
We did something like that in Valpo
Yeah.
a year ago. Anyway.
So anyway, storyofplastic.org is under breakfreefromplastic.org, but that's the name of the
Break
film,
Free.
The Story of Plastic.
Okay, and then that's at Break Free from Plastic.
Breakfreefromplastic.org.
Okay.
And then beyondplastics.org.
.org. Excellent. Always like a good documentary. Anybody, any other announcements? Announcements? Beetlejuice. No announcements. All right. What?
That's the thing I was in.
The flavor. All right, well then, if there's no other announcements, we will, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All right, do I have a second?
Yes, sir.
Second, excellent, thank you, Abigail and Tristan. All those in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
All right, we will adjourn Sustainability Commission Michigan City at 5:43 PM on December 12th, 2024. Thank you.
Thank you.